It's 4:20 somewhere, and right now that somewhere is right here. Hello, I'm Janae Burris.
And I'm Jake Brown. Welcome to the Cannabis Show, where we talk all things weed.
Hey, Jake. What's up?
It's good to be back. I was in Oakland this weekend.
Yeah?
The New West Summit. It was a lot of fun. Thanks, friend of the show, Jim McAlpine.
Oh yeah, from the 420 games.
Yeah, it was really good. There were some great panels. There were a lot of really interesting parties. I got a chance to do virtual reality stoned again, which is one of my favorite things to do. And then I get home and I'm looking at Facebook, and it's all of these young women talking about how they were sexually harassed during the conference.
What?
Like,
What? Not surprising.
I give Jim some credit because he, said, "Hey, listen, this isn't what the conference is about. I want to, if you have any stories, please relay them to me. These people won't be invited back to the conference." But I mean, you hear about this at MJ BizCon last year, where you have a number of women that are sexually harassed. There was at one point people eating cold cuts off of a nude model at one of the parties, and it's like, at what point do we just realize that it's 2017 and that we need to address these things before the conference, not afterwards?
It could be before any conference, though. I think. I think it doesn't. It's not just this industry. It's the entertainment industry. It's politics. It's everywhere. So if people want to get ahead of it and just address it before every conference,
Sure.
Hey guys, keep your hands to yourselves. I think that's just the way things have to go now. It's just like.
Is it comedy festivals too?
Well, here's the thing about it. I have almost grown out of that, being privy to the harassment. But I do remember being a younger woman and feeling a little bit powerless in those situations. It is everywhere.
I feel like powerless is such a key term too, because it's like all of these, very we're business guys, and they're in Vegas for like MJ BizCon, and we're just gonna we're Playboy, and it's like, it's such an old, stale mentality.
Yeah, if some of the good guys could start talking to everybody and being like, hey, it's abnormal what you're doing. Well, it's sort of normal, but it's not very nice what you're doing, the way you're treating the women in your industry. You're making it uncomfortable. You're making it difficult for them to get their work done and succeed in their work. Like, if decent people could start talking to these other people, and I don't know, we got to keep the conversation going and start to make some changes, start to demand some changes, demand some better behavior out of people.
And guys holding other guys accountable.
Guys holding other guys accountable, change the culture. It's absolutely a thing that happens, I think, in every industry to women. It's just the history of people,
and
it's the history of man. But
so the cannabis industry, we could be better than that.
You could be better. It's a new burgeoning industry anyway. Let's start it off well.
How was your weekend? What did you do? Did you get sexually harassed?
I'm sure at some point.
Sure.
Nah. I've been watching the Dodgers. Let's go Dodgers. That's it. That's the best thing that's been happening this weekend. Dodgers are 3-0 going into Chicago.
I will root for the Dodgers now that the Red Sox are out. You have my producer Vince just fist in the air. I don't know if that's pro Dodgers, anti Red Sox. Either way.
Yeah, a lot of my
you, PV.
a lot of my Rockies friends have gone a little internet quiet on me. What's up, boo? What's up, Marcella? What's up? Let's talk. What's up, Adam Caden Holland? Let's talk, y'all.
Oh, good luck to the Dodgers, I guess. And can we both agree, death to the Yankees?
Death to the Yankees,
death to the Yankees. All right, now it's time for the Weekend in Weed. And I want to start in Northern California because this is a story that hits particularly close to home for me, because I know a number of people affected by the wildfires that have decimated the region. Thankfully, they weren't hurt, but some have lost friends, and almost all of them know someone who's lost a farm. Our own Bruce Kennedy has a story for the Cannabis, touching on how this could affect up to 17,000 farms in Mendocino and Sonoma alone. And that includes smoke damage to plants, which essentially renders them useless. When I was in San Francisco for the summit last weekend, there were people talking about 5-pound bags going for $1,000, where Cannabis Benchmarks has that price for the market at $14.45 for 1 pound. I think what makes this truly devastating is that most of these farms get one harvest a year, that's it, and that this is a catastrophic loss. There's no federal crop insurance, and a lot of these farmers don't have access to banking, so you have people that are burying cash that could be lost as well. Then you couple that with the fact that they were counting on that money to be able to go through the licensing process as California launches its regulated recreational marijuana program in 2018. And this is something that a lot of good people just won't come back from. If you're watching in NorCal, know that people around the country have you in their thoughts. And I'd encourage everyone to go find an organization that's dedicated to supporting relief efforts specifically for growers. And also a big fuck you to WePay, who is holding over $13,000 of donations that were made online specifically to go to growers. Janae?
What's their excuse for holding this money?
No, it's weed money.
It's weed money.
Yeah, it's weed money. So, you know, I mean, these people are involved in a tragic disaster. They raised it through one of the more reputable sites, ucaring.com. And this wasn't all weed money. These were, you know, just regular people trying to help out. And now they won't release the funds. And there are people out there with no homes, no money, nothing right now that have lost family members, friends, and it's disgusting.
Yeah. Okay. Hey there, bravo to Representative Tom Marino, Donald Trump's nominee for drug czar. Thank you for having the decency to remove yourself from consideration for the position due to the conflict of interest created by your involvement in essentially aiding an increased distribution of opioids in our country. Yep, not taking a position where you could continue to profit from this country's devastating drug epidemic is the height of decency shown by Trump nominees. Previous Trump nominees include Betsy DeVos, billionaires to the Amway fortune and part of a family who has given millions to advance their radical school privatization agenda. She's our Secretary of Education, y'all. Also lacking in the decency Marino was able to show is Trump nominee Rex Tillerson, current head of the Environmental Protection Agency and former CEO of ExxonMobil. You guys, hello. Senator Minority Leader Chuck Schumer is quoted as saying that confirming Marino as our country's drug czar would be like putting a wolf in charge of the hen house. The Washington Post reported that Marino, as well as members of Congress and some of the nation's major drug distributors, helped to create industry-friendly laws which derailed efforts which would have limited the flow of opioids. Those painkillers eventually led to tens of thousands of deaths. Up next is Trump's nominee for drug czar, El Chapo. Jake?
One of our top stories this week was what researchers claim was a reversal in overdose deaths caused by opioids here in Colorado in the 2 years after legalization. I'm just crushing it on the funny stories this week. People losing everything in fires, people ODing.
Jake, your sense of humor.
Woo! No, this one's actually positive, as the American Journal of Public Health looked at the data starting in 2014 after adult use dispensaries opened their doors, according to the Washington Post, Christopher Ingram. The study controlled for medical weed by skipping over our lame neighbors to the west in Utah and looking at Nevada, which had an MMJ program at the time, but no recreational chronic. Even after taking into account the numerous other factors, they still came up with a 6.5% drop in deaths. And that's substantial when you see numerous states continuing to climb. Dr. Larry Wolk, who serves as the executive director of the Colorado Department of Public Health and Environment, warned that, quote, anything that does get published at this point should be considered preliminary data, unquote, which is something the authors of the study readily acknowledged. But you also have Robert Valick, coordinator of the Colorado Consortium for Prescription Drug Abuse Prevention, noting that deaths from heroin have been rising as people often switch to the harder stuff when they can no longer get a prescription. Personally, knowing people that have kicked both prescription opioids and heroin thanks to weed, and with a number of guests on this very show claiming the same, it's my opinion that it's only a matter of time until the science comes in. Janae?
After finding out that a story posted by Amherst, New York police was an April Fool's Day hoax, Dave Guatro is doubling down and saying that hiring drug-sniffing bunnies could actually work. Hold on there. Did I just say drug-sniffing bunnies? I sure did, Janae. Guatro, the Phoenixville, Pennsylvania mayoral candidate, thinks that the idea of hiring rabbits to find illicit drugs is not so far-fetched. Lots of great innovations were inspired by pure fiction. Will we even have cell phones if not for Gene Roddenberry? Was anyone drinking Pepsi and milk before Laverne and Shirley? I was, Jake. Or keeping their wife in a genie bottle before I Dream of Jeannie? I sure hope not. Bugs Bunny has been one of the most clever cartoon characters on television for the last 50 years. Maybe the Warner Brothers saw something in rabbits that the rest of us looked right past. And with all the great attributes that bunnies hold, why should dogs be getting all the cool jobs? Here are my top 5 jobs for bunny rabbits, just in case Dave doesn't win the mayoral election and we never get this drug-sniffing rabbit unit off the ground. Those bunnies are gonna need jobs. They got a lot of kids to feed, you know. Number 5, bunny therapist. Rabbits are very quiet, which means they're probably great listeners. Get that rabbit a tiny office and an even tinier sofa. I think we found your new therapist, Jake. Number 4, roommate. Hey, I hear New York City apartments are closet-sized but expensive. A rabbit takes up very little space. Rabbits also get bored easily, so you'll always have a friend who wants to party. Number 3, housemaid. Everyone knows that rabbits are very clean. Does everyone know that? And you probably get...
I just can't wait for more obscure rabbit facts that you've looked up on...
They're very clean, I'm told, according to the internet. And you could probably get away with paying them in lettuce. Are you one of those weirdos who doesn't like other people using your toilet? Well, rabbits aren't people, and they're known to eat their own poop, so worry not. Nail model. A rabbit's teeth and nails never stop growing. How about we put that natural talent to use and hire them as nail models? Instead of sifting through that boring basket of nail gel colors, we could say, release the rabbits! And then a bunch of bunnies come clacking out with fancy nail art. That sounds like a lot of fun, you guys. Way to make getting your nails fun. Number 1, marijuana show co-host. Bunnies are full of personality, but that job's already taken. Jake?
This is the best. At one point, I just was like, I'm gonna Google rabbit facts, and the top questions are: do rabbits have feelings for their owners? Which is just like, you are single if you're typing that in.
They're like, I hope,
yeah.
I hope.
Are rabbits fragile? Which is like,
can I hug him and hug him and hug him, George?
You need a turtle
and squeeze
or
him,
something.
George. Man.
And then my favorite one was, how do you get a bunny to like you? Oh, sad people on the internet.
What's sad?
Oh, that's, I don't even, is there an answer? I think it's just feed it. But yeah, bunnies, they don't like to be alone. I love rabbit jobs.
Yeah, I don't want all these, the dogs are getting all the cool jobs, man. These rabbits got to work too.
There's just the pet jobs, like genre of this podcast.
I've just created a new
for very
position.
Specific people.
I created a new job, a position for myself. I'm like a pet career counselor. Next week, cat jobs.
Cat job. Whoa. All right, cats, getting the weed news.
All the cats getting their resumes out and their questions.
There's a bunch of cool stuff on the site this week. I want to tell people, check out the new High Minded podcast.
Oh, yeah.
There's Alex Pasquarello, Alicia Wallace from the Cannabis are both on there. It's kind of, there's serialized stories from Alicia. Alex is doing some panel stuff. Our own Lindsay Bartlett has a really great review of the PAX era in there.
Wanda James is on it this week.
Yeah, Wanda, friend of the show. I like how we're just calling everyone. Listen. You want to be a friend of the show? Send me an email, jake@thecannabis.co, because that's an email address that will exist in a few days. All right. For more on this and all of the stories from the week in weed, visit us online at thecannabis.co. Now, this week, the state of Colorado held a public hearing asking for the people for opinions on proposed marijuana regulation changes. We wanted to know what the people knew about the existing regulations, of which there are more than 400 pages. Combined medical and retail. So Janae and producer Vince headed out to the People's Republic of Boulder this week to find out.
Hey! Feels good to get out of the studio, get out here, get some fresh air in Boulder, beautiful Boulder. I stick out a little bit in Boulder, I noticed. But we came out here to find out, what do people actually know? So we went to the streets, asked a few true or false questions about some basic marijuana pot shop rules, and check it out and see what the people told us. Okay, I got some quick true or false questions for you just about marijuana and the legalization of it. Okay. True or false, consumption of marijuana on the premises of a retail marijuana shop is prohibited.
At the shop?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's true.
True.
True?
Like, what do you mean, like a weed?
You can't smoke in a dispensary.
Oh, no, you can't, no.
True or false?
I don't believe they allow you to smoke marijuana at a retail marijuana dispensary. No.
That is correct. True. It is
Think so,
prohibited.
true,
You
yeah.
may not smoke there.
I would imagine not.
Okay, how about this one? You must be at least 18 to enter a recreational marijuana shop.
That's false. You have to be 21.
Yes, true.
Actually, that
21.
one's false. 21, yeah.
Okay.
21.
21's the right answer, right?
False.
False.
21.
Yeah, be 21.
21,
She
yeah.
knows what's up. Okay. Okay. It is illegal for a retail marijuana shop to give away free marijuana products.
Sadly, true.
True or false? A retail shop can give away free marijuana products.
That is false.
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 That is false.
Have you gotten free? I've gotten it
Yeah,
for a
I got
set.
free. Yeah, like,
I'm gonna go with
I went
false.
to Green Solution on my birthday.
Don't say that. You'll get them in trouble. That shit's illegal. True or false? You can sell marijuana over the internet as long as you're 21 and have a retail license.
I've heard situations where people have bought marijuana over online, but it being legal, I'm not sure.
Ooh, I don't know. I would say that's false.
No.
I'm gonna have to say false on that one.
Have a retail license.
Definitely false.
No.
I thought that one was gonna trick you.
No, you can go to the dark webs and shit, but it's not. You can get shut down for
Is
that.
that something you would even consider doing with buying?
No.
You think in the future you could like order through Amazon Prime or something?
I mean, no.
Not
I would
even
just say no
in
to
the
that.
future. Oh man, I wish I could sing. I felt like the urge to sing, except the ability wasn't there.
Hey, thanks, podcast listeners. We love you. Please don't forget to tune into our YouTube channel to see that and more. Don't forget to subscribe to the Cannabis other podcast, High Minded. But back on the Cannabis Show, our guest this week pairs coffee and cannabinoids. Please join me in welcoming Devin Jamrose to the show. How are you, Devin?
I'm good, thank you, Jake.
Thank you for the cuppa. I can just say cuppa, right? That's
Just
the
a
thing.
cuppa, the
A
cuppa.
cuppa. Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers to Janae. Oh, look at that. We made it down there.
Yes, sir. What do you guys think? This is our original.
It's real hot. I like it. I am a fan of what we call around the house old and cold, just whatever was left over from the previous day. But this is delightful.
Good.
Yeah, we're drinking it black, and it's delicious.
How would you describe this particular blend? Because I know very little about coffee.
That's fair. This so this one is actually a single origin. So this is all from Ethiopia. It's an Ethiopian Yirgacheffe. And Yirgacheffe is where the coffee species actually originated. So it's the motherland of coffee itself.
Yes, this is like a landrace strain.
Exactly.
Okay.
So we wanted to start with that because it's a very popular coffee, and also to do a new product like CBD coffee, why not use the first coffee that ever existed? And so that's what we did with this one.
This is truly OG. It
is.
the original gangster form.
It's actually really delicious, and it smells great as well. When I have a CBD, not just CBD products, but any sort of marijuana product, I don't necessarily expect it to taste really good. Maybe I'm getting it because of the marijuana or whatever properties. But
yeah, we
this is
spent
delicious.
3 years trying to overcome that. We started off when we first started experimenting. There was a lot of soaking beans in tinctures, a lot of spraying beans with oils, and a lot of really bad coffee.
Wait, I'm sure some weird afternoons too.
Oh God, yeah.
Okay.
The worst I ever tried, I will admit, is doing a butane run through your tube into a plate of coffee, curing that, and then drinking that. And it actually worked as a weight loss coffee because I threw up for about 3 days. So
I was like, it's coming out of one end.
so I wouldn't recommend that either.
That's aggressive. Well, and then I hear a lot of people doing bulletproof coffees. So imagine you could do like a little bit of steep fuse. That's the brand of the coffee for everybody listening. So we could do a little steep fuse, and then maybe some canna butter in there too. Has anybody tried that out? Or
Oh yeah, we get submissions from people doing all sorts of recipes. People love to make their own butter and throw it in. People like to use it in cooking, like making tiramisus and stuff. So yeah, we get all sorts of fun submissions from people doing all sorts of cool things with it.
I bet that's like one of the best parts is you're kind of
Oh, I
getting
love it.
everybody's weird like home recipes and now do people because we all know at certain temperatures you can burn off certain cannabinoids and I imagine that would be a difficulty when you're talking about an incredibly hot thing like coffee, although I don't know how hot coffee gets.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know shit about coffee. So you're gonna help
Well,
me.
what you can
Yeah,
know
you're
is that if you burn your tongue on the hot coffee, there's already some CBD in there to help alleviate the burn, the inflammation. So, you know, we've made it amateur coffee drinker proof. No offense.
I'm going to ask the FDA to evaluate that statement and continue.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. Steve Hughes is not intended to treat burned mouths.
Okay, way to get that disclaimer in there. Hello.
So yeah, we don't tend to see too many issues. CBD doesn't tend to vaporize until you're at about 350, I want to say.
Okay.
And you're not going to get any boiling water hotter than that for the coffee. We don't recommend people cold brew it. That's actually the opposite problem we have, because when you cold brew the coffee, you're not extracting any of the oil, and what we're putting in is a CO2 oil. And so if you're not pulling the oil back out, then you're obviously not getting all the benefits. So
what's that process look like? Because so you source these beans, and I'm guessing that you, since we're in Colorado, are you sourcing cannabis that's high in CBD, or are you sourcing hemp?
So everything we do is hemp derived.
Okay.
And everything is grown locally in Colorado, outdoors, organically. We find the best hemp that we can, and we spend a lot of time finding the right strains that have the right flavor profile that's really going to play well with the flavor notes of the coffee. The coffee's got a little bit of a citrusy finish to it, and so we went with a strain that had nice cherry notes, some earthy, and a little bit of black pepper you might get in there. And yeah, so everything is hemp derived. It's all sourced from Colorado. And then the coffee, we import the coffee, and we source from all local or small farms around Africa and South America.
So it can change. People aren't necessarily getting the Ethiopian
Yurgachev, the Yurgabluff, the Yurgabluff. It's an ancient bean. It's an ancient bean. Another time.
So there are cannabis terpenes in here as well.
Oh yeah.
See, that's amazing, because a lot of times people do extracts and you lose the terps, and so so do you tend to try and find strains also that have more of an alert profile in terms of flavor and also the effect? Interesting.
Exactly. We really like beta-caryophyllene is what we really look for. That gives that earthy, peppery flavor. And then beta-caryophyllene has also been shown to interact directly with the endocannabinoid system, and it's been proven to be an anti-inflammatory and analgesic. Like if you get your wisdom teeth pulled out and they give you clove oil, it's the beta-caryophyllene that numbs the pain, and so yeah, there you go. So it's sorry, just let a little heat hit me. There's also beta-caryophyllene in black pepper, so there's you're going to get a little bit of that too. We also like humulene, myrcene, all the common ones, but yeah, beta-caryophylene's our favorite.
I love this. This is a conversation about terpenes. People out there watching around the country, some people are having different conversations about terpenes. Some people are still learning about
beta-caryophyllene. I don't know. You said it really well, is all I'm saying. It just rolled off the tongue.
Well, while you guys were doing your bit, I was in the bathroom practicing beta-caryophyllene, beta-caryophyllene. Don't look like an idiot. Don't look like an idiot.
Well, as you guys have done some really fun events around too, tell me a little bit about kind of introducing people to CBD coffee, and especially at an event where walking around with something that's hot can be dangerous for an idiot like me, apparently.
Yeah, so doing the coffee, we interact with a lot of people who cannabis in general is very new to. You've got people who hear horror stories about edibles on the news and that get blown out of proportion, and they're afraid of smoking, they're afraid of vaping. But then they're like, well, coffee, hold on a minute now. I love coffee.
Sure.
And hemp, hemp is good, hemp is safe. So we get a lot of people who have never tried a cannabis product at all, who are willing to try our coffee. And we have a lot of people who do know cannabis who are like, oh, this would be perfect for my aunt, my brother who lives way out on the East Coast, for whatever, as an intro into the world of cannabis. So we deal with a lot of fringe users So education is a huge part of what we do because people are like, what are terpenes?
Sure. And then you have coffee, which is it's a daily thing for most Americans, I'm guessing. And so is this almost like a microdose, or would you consider this a full dose of CBD, or it just depends?
Yeah, it depends on the strength you're going to make. We definitely see people making some strong coffee out there. And at the rate we infuse, a typical cup, like these cups, are probably going to have 10, 12 milligrams. So you're getting a full dose in a cup. And then we also do half-strength releases with some partners that we're working on that are going to, for people who want more coffee but don't need more CBD.
And just so people that are listening know, this won't produce a head high. It doesn't have a psychotropic effect. So in that way, you can still be productive. I'm going to be able to finish this interview, hopefully. And
that's up to you, I suppose.
You do your best work with a head high, though. Come on. Everybody knows that.
Yes, you will literally die of caffeine overdose before you would get high. On our coffee. We do use a full spectrum extract, so there is trace amounts of THC. We're firm believers in the entourage effect. So we do have about 0.01% residual THC and some CBN, some CBG, all that other good stuff. But yeah, we're way, way, way below the federal cutoff of 0.3%. So yeah,
so somebody can bring this into work and it's not going to set off alarms. Oh my god.
Oh no, we
But would you recommend giving this to somebody if they don't know that there are cannabinoids in it? Because I think there's an interesting discussion around kind of dosing, what's responsible to give people and not.
We certainly don't recommend it, but we hear about it all the time. People love to tell us, oh yeah, I've been feeding it to my grandma, or I've been giving it to whoever, and I'm like, I don't think I can support that.
Right. Knock it off, you unethical pranksters out there. Nana's just having to have a good time. Cuppa.
Well, and that's what is interesting. Is she's like, so she didn't even know she was getting it, but I noticed the difference in her. I'm like, oh, so you eliminate, it is. We definitely don't recommend it, but it does eliminate the possibility of a placebo effect, which is very interesting to see.
So it's almost like a gateway edible for Nana. for me mods, if you need something to kind of get her started with.
We do see people who will start with the coffee and then sort of get into stronger doses of either CBD, or sometimes that is how they start trying THC. They're like, this CBD does a lot for me. I'm gonna try the other one. I'm gonna try the dangerous one.
Right. When we talk about THC, when I was out at the summit, somebody made a really interesting analogy, and they talked about how kind of cannabis flower is becoming the coffee bean, where fewer and fewer people are using it because cannabis flower comes with all kind of these, you have to break it down, you need to put it in something, and there's a lot of labor, whereas now people can go and get the vaporizer, right? And they can get something that's easy to use. It's almost like the vaporizer is the K-cup. So where do you see kind of coffee bean going in kind of the same relation?
Yes and no. That's a really good analogy, actually. I like that a lot.
I wish I remember who said it. Somebody who's a smart guy.
Somebody who knows what they're talking about.
A genius.
Copyright 2017. Some smart guy. So what we see, I guess, is we're seeing in the coffee world, there's a bit of a division. You're seeing growth on both of the opposite ends of the spectrum primarily. Your sort of mid-level coffees, I've always been and always will be. Where you're seeing a lot of the growth is, like you say, on the ready-to-go versions. K-cups are getting huge. Instant coffee is actually on the rise. You can buy a $6 instant coffee now.
Ooh.
I read that. So, you're definitely seeing...
That means it's good, because it's expensive.
I know.
Right?
So,
$6.
And it comes with tons of waste, just like your giant packaged vape pen.
Exactly. And it doesn't even have CBD in it. Our coffee isn't $6 a serving. Like, come on.
Right.
So we are seeing a lot of growth on that side, and it does, you do get a lot of waste. The environmental impact on that is huge with K-cups. And then you're also seeing what's funny is massive growth on the high end. Single origin beans, very lightly roasted to preserve all the origin flavors. made in a pour over with, weighing out every tenth of a gram of bean and water.
You got coffee cats.
Oh yeah, you've got your civet cats crapping out the coffee.
Sure.
That'd be a good job for bunnies. You feed bunnies the coffee cherries, you get bunny shit coffee.
Bunnies,
So there you
we'll
go.
be in contact.
I like that Devin has like intricate knowledge of rabbits.
I do have several rabbits myself. Yes, they do make great roommates, and they definitely eat their own poop.
Yeah, put them to work.
Now I look like the sad guy who's.
Were those your searches? He's like, yes, you can squeeze too hard.
Our bunnies,
Yes, they are
our bunnies
fragile. Yes, they are.
All too fragile. Oh yeah,
So you've got instant that is. So you've got these two different ends of the spectrum. You're doing beans. Are you doing instant? Are you doing?
So that is actually the next thing in the pipeline for us. We're partnering up with Evo Hemp, also out of Boulder.
Shout out to Ari. What up, man?
Yeah, Ari and Jordan, I love those guys. So we've been working with them for actually probably about 5 months now.
Okay.
And we are doing a co-branded instant with them. We're very excited about it. We're hoping to release it before the end of the year. It was an interesting thing to take on because I would never consider instant coffee before. I don't want to do it. I hate instant coffee. But we've really gotten to play around with a lot of formulation, spray drying, freeze drying, the whole.
Well, I'm sure the infusion changes a little bit.
Oh yeah, we had to tweak a lot of things for that to get everything ready to freeze dry and to spray dry, to get everything all prepped up and infused at the right strength. But yeah, so that should be coming out by the end of the year.
Okay.
And that's going to be fun. I'm excited to work with them and to get to partner up with those guys.
That sounds fun. All right. So you said tweaking. Speaking of tweaking, so commonly hippie speedball is a term that.
Speaking of tweaking. Excellent segue.
Thank you.
Bravo.
So you know what a hippie speedball is?
Oh, yeah.
Can you define it for our audience?
A hippie speedball are chocolate-covered espresso beans where the chocolate is infused with THC.
Whoa, okay, that was not how I had known. I've always known the hippie speedball as a cup of coffee and cannabis to start your day. So I want to propose to you.
I would take that too.
Yeah.
Is that a real
more
product?
interested
Can
in
I have that?
I want to propose to you some rebrands of hippie speedball. You're the coffee expert. Tell me if these are any better. What about rips and sips? For people that like bongs, we do rips and sips.
Okay, I like that one. Yeah.
What about Gorilla Brew? If you don't mind getting sued, apparently Gorilla Glue is quite litigious.
They own gorillas. Whatever. Total use of gorilla.
All right, we're going to pass on that one. K-Cup, but the K stands for Kush.
The Kush Cup.
The Kush Cup?
Okay.
Okay. Field of Creams, for those that don't like black coffee.
That sounds way too much like a porno flick.
Nope, I don't think we're doing that one.
Probably
What about,
exists.
instead of the Kickstart, the Wick Starts?
That one, okay. A little bit of a stretch, but I'll accept that one. Yeah.
They're all a bit of a stretch. And finally, just a chatty barista.
I'm gonna have a chatty barista.
baristas.
That's the one I like the most.
No one likes chatty
Great, though,
baristas.
I was gonna say.
to be able to go into a coffee shop in the future, though, and to sort of ask for these type of things would be really nice. I keep asking people, like, what do they envision as being where they want to consume cannabis once we get all of this, 300 worked out, the details worked out. But
Oh, yeah.
a coffee shop where
We're talking to a lot of the places who are trying to get permitting for the 300. We're also in quite a few coffee shops right now. In Boulder, like the Unseen Bean is our sister company.
Oh.
They have our coffee, and then the Point Cafe on the hill in Boulder. They're also doing the coffee.
What if you hate going to Boulder?
Yeah, where can regular people
Where
buy
can
your
regular
product?
people who don't live?
Can normies buy your product?
Is it available out of state?
Oh yeah, we ship all over the country because we're all hemp derived and we test rigorously. We will ship to all 50 states.
I'm going to call some friends in Iowa and say, hey, step up your coffee game.
Hey guys, yeah, absolutely.
I know a lot of people that would love this product.
Well, and I think espresso is the best way to do it. The heat and the pressure extracts everything, all the cannabinoids, all the terpenes, all the good oils, everything you want out of the coffee is coming out of the coffee in espresso. So coffee shop model is great. That's a great place to
What about
to try
people
it.
that don't like coffee? I'm not saying I don't like coffee. I like old, disgusting coffee no one else will drink. You got any other options for them?
We're working on it.
Okay.
Instant coffee is first with Evo. That's the first thing we got. We've also got in development tea and hot chocolate.
All right.
Whoa.
Yeah, a lot of people get excited about the hot chocolate.
Yeah, a little après ski. Is that a thing people say?
I don't know what that means. Is that French? What is that?
I've heard it said. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for everybody's favorite game, Pot or Not.
Oh, my favorite!
Yay!
It's my favorite.
All right, Devin, you got to tell me, are the things I'm telling you pot or are they not? Is it a strain or is it lame?
That was-
it's usually a joke of mine.
That was not what I thought this game was going to be. I thought here's a bunch of cookies. Eat 5 of them. Good luck. Okay, here we go.
That's
Crushing roulette. All right. Sorry, I can't quit drinking this coffee. All right, number
Good.
1, Wilson. Wilson, is it pot or not?
I'm going to go with pot.
It is not. I was just watching Castaway. I'm sorry.
Well, that's what I thought. I was like, somebody would name it like your desert island, your
Is
your
it
Wilson.
Desert Island strain, maybe.
There you go.
Oh, man.
I was thinking somebody would name their strain after Wilson. The volleyball, football,
Volleyball.
Yeah.
That is correct. Half point. All right, half points don't count. Number 2, Grandma's Batch. Grandma's Batch.
I'm gonna say no.
That is. Oh, that's purple caper seeds. It's a cross between Candyland and Girl Scout cookies, which makes sense. Candyland, Girl Scout cookies. It's Grandma's Batch.
My buddies at Nerds Genetics are gonna hate me when I flunk this test.
All right. Well, you still have a chance to not get the worst score ever. Let's go to number 3 with Siesta Key. Siesta Key.
I'm gonna go with pot.
That is not. I'm sorry. That is an MTV show from the producers of Laguna Beach.
What?
Yeah, we were talking about MTV before the show. Vince was telling me about something. All right, number 4, Lennon.
I'm gonna go with. Now I'm nervous because I'm bad at this.
No, let's
How do
go
you
with
spell it? What kind of lemon?
Lennon. Lennon.
I'm gonna say yes.
It is.
Hey, I get 1
Congratulations,
point.
1 point.
Warm up the bell!
You can probably put it away. I think that was a one-off.
No, Pyramid Seeds. It's Jack Harrer and Hayes. It's actually really tasty for being named after a dead music star. All right, number 5, Purple Monkey Dishwasher.
I hope
Purple
that's
monkey.
not.
It is not. Dang, he's heating up, ladies and gentlemen. That's a Simpsons reference, season 6, when they disband the PTA. They're doing that, and then just say Purple Monkey Dishwasher. It's always fun. All right, 2 points. No, 3 points? No, 2 points. All right, number 6, Diablo.
I'm gonna say yeah.
That is. That's an old school.
Yeah.
Dang, is that 3 in a row?
That was the first one I wasn't
Yeah,
sort
I
of guessing on.
Still hear the ringing from the first bell. So yes. 3.
What about number 7, Elmer's Glue?
Yes.
That is! Congratulations!
All right.
Gorilla Glue 4 in the
Come
white
on,
from
Bill.
Relentless Genetics.
Aha.
I like that. Although with Gorilla Glue
like
suing
suing everybody.
I feel like Elmer's might have a little more backing. Than, but
Elmer's versus the Gorilla Glue.
or maybe Elmer's have been sniffing their own stuff, getting high on their own supply. Don't remember to sue anybody anymore. All right, that's 4 points. I feel like I screwed you out of a point.
I feel
somewhere.
like you did too, if I'm being honest.
So we had. Did you get Siesta Key?
No, I was wrong.
No.
on that
Okay.
one.
So no, that is 4 in a row. All right. So, but I'll give you a half point again for whatever. All right. Number 8.
for pity.
Yep. Redheaded Stranger. Is it pot or not?
Redheaded stranger. No.
Oh, I thought that was going to be the easy one. That is. Damn it. Yeah, that's Tom Hills Hayes and Williams Wonder, named after the old Willie Nelson. All right. Let's get this one right here. Number 9. Hiking Viking.
No.
That is not pot. Congratulations.
But it should be. That's a great sounding one.
Thank you. I made it up. Oh, the old hiking Viking.
Well, it sounds like it could be a Colorado strain. Like,
Sure.
you know,
Yeah.
a really sativa heavy.
There you go. You get the helmet on, get horny. I don't know. There's a lot
There you
of
go.
different
You either go
Viking
hike-
jokes you can make there. But all right, let's get you above the worst score ever. Number 10, Jolly Green Giant's dick.
I really want that to be, but I'm going to say no.
It is not. Congratulations.
God.
6 points, and you avoid our worst score ever. And thank you to Twitter user @JustVanPatty, who has been living with her life partner in a van since 1983. If we can find out where your van is, we will send you a cannabis mug. But we really appreciate it @JustVanPatty.
With her partner?
Yeah.
She found someone to agree to that?
For 24 years.
Wow.
No, 34 years?
I don't know,
It's
man.
83, yep, that's 34 years.
Real love.
Patty, you two are doing it, and we salute you. Woo! Devin, where can people find more information about Steep Fuse online?
So the best place to go is on our website at Steep Fuse. That's steepfusewithaz.com. And we've got, you can get all the information you need. We've got links. You can buy our stuff there. You can get a lot more information. We reference external sites for more information about CBD in general. And yeah, that's a great place to start.
All right, Janae, what do you got going on?
Man, I got a bunch of stuff. So Friday, today, I'm going to be at, did I say this already? I'll be at Soiled Dove. Did I say this last week? Still happening, guys. All right, just to remind you, I'm at Soiled Dove on Friday. That's in Aurora. I'm at Catfish Haven.
Oh, I definitely remember Catfish Haven.
That's on the 21st. I'm also at Los Tacos a little bit later that night. Next week, come to this. Okay, Tuesday at Comedy Works, you guys. We Pussy Bros. We got asked to teach stand-up comedy to The Bachelor. The new Bachelor?
Oh, is it going to be a part of the show?
I don't know what it is. It's going to be some sort of promo. We are going to teach him how to do a little bit of stand-up comedy, help him write a set.
I've seen this on The Bachelor before.
Really?
It's always so cringe. Are you going to teach any of the Bachelorettes too, and they have to have like a stand-up comedy off?
Oh, no, we're just teaching the guy.
Okay,
some
thank God.
guy named Ben, maybe. I don't know. But we're going to teach him how to do comedy.
For all you Batch
and then
fans.
and then at Comedy Works, you can come to this show. So it's usually our new talent show. So it'll be a bunch of other people, but we'll also have this guy Ben and the Pussy Bros doing some sets on Tuesday. So come to that on the 24th.
Awesome. And I'll be out in LA on Friday and I believe Saturday, and then I'll be up in Santa Rosa on Sunday. So if you're in either of those areas, hit me up. We're going to be doing some grow-off parties, but I'll be around the area, so if you want to hang out, let me know. Thanks again to Devin for joining us today. Thanks to you for tuning in, our faithful viewers. Send us your pot or not suggestions, please. You can do it Facebook. You can do it Twitter. You can do it Instagram. You can email me at my brand new email address, jake@thecannabis.co, and just use the hashtag pot or not. For Janae Burrs, producer Vince, and the whole Cannabis Show crew, I'm Jake Brown. We'll see you next week.
Say it again. Ain't afraid to get in. I be going for the jackpot with ace in my hand. I'm raw.